Now I could stop right here with the grind and just leave it this thick monstrosity, but the cutting is not going to be as good. You know, this is just a rough grind with the 60 grit finish, and you'll see a lot of knives, they'll do that. They'll just keep it real nice and thick so that, you know, whole durability. But what really makes a knife really take off in my mind is when you start getting really thin behind the edge. So we're going to keep going. We're going to pull that up. We're going to thin that out. We're going to get that thinner down there as well. Yeah. Rough grinding complete. You can see how thin you grind that down to. The thickness gives us the ability to put the taper on there without getting it too thin at the tip. I thought it'd be interesting to show the startling contrast between before grinding and after. This is actually thinner stock on the one that's not ground. Looking up through the deburn process on the 15V, but this was interesting. This is actually the burr that had broken off. And it broke off in a nice strip right here. And we have to remember, 15V, you know, this is 67 Rockwell on the hardness. And we're able to break off this nice ductile stringy burr on here like that. Usually what happens with really hard, really kind of stiff or stressed out steel is the burr will break off in little bits. You won't get it breaking off in this long, clean strip like this. So that's a good sign. That means there was good grinding practices and things like that done here. And you know, oftentimes I'll have people say like, "Oh, I get that to happen all the time. You're making the burr too big. I have that happen all the time on soft steel." Well, no one cares that you can get it on soft steel. It's when you can pull it off on a carbide monster steel with 23% carbide, you know, in the high 60s Rockwell. That's when we care. That's when it matters, okay? And so to me, I like this. It's validation of a really good grinding process, good heat treatment, things like that. So cool stuff. 120 grit, CPM 15V. Ooh. I've got to say, guys, it is so refreshing sharpening my own work, you know, like when you have a bomb heat treatment on a steel, it's just so easy to get it nice and sharp. It's not even funny, you know, after sharpening all these different production knives for testing and things like that. And just, I got to say, like, it was just so much easier to sharpen when you have just a solid heat treatment, lower retained austenite, things like that. It's important, guys. It's really important. So we're going to go back, we're going to hand sand this guy, but I just wanted to show that's what a 14 degree per side bevel looks like when you're thin as fuck behind the edge. Look at that. We'll go ahead and we'll cut the video right there. Now, if you guys enjoy this content, let me know down in the comments section below. Thank you so much for watching and take care.